Okay, so uh, are
I'll
you
ask
going to
it.
read this one?
Sure,
Okay.
I'll ask it. If the Earth's moon was replaced by an equivalent-sized banana, grammar mistake should be sized or spelling error, what effects would that have on the Earth?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I think the tides would be affected. Uh, could we have actually landed on the banana uh, when we were landing on the moon? If it was a banana, could you land on it? I guess you could, because now they're talking about landing on asteroids, and they're all different shapes. They're not perfectly round. So maybe we could land on a banana. Uh, the light, I guess, would be different. Apparently, 2,213 other people don't know how to answer this question because nobody tried to answer it. This is just ridiculous. Why banana? Why not an orange?
Well, I'm gonna elaborate a bit on that. I mean,
Why not a star fruit
I,
or
I assume when they say size, they
pineapple?
mean volume, not area. So assuming it's a banana of the equivalent volume of the moon, it's going to affect everything. I mean, it doesn't have the mass or density. So the tides would be affected to the point where we may not even get a noticeable tide difference. There
Yeah,
may be some tide, some you know high and low tide, but it may be immeasurable.
yeah,
You can't land on it because the surface tension of the banana would not support a spacecraft, nor the heat from the exhaust. So, or even the weight of a human being, because it's a banana, right? So the mass and density can't support the weight, and it doesn't have the surface tension, even
Oh, wait
even
a
with the lower
second.
gravity.
Wait a second. If you were able to land on it, you wouldn't need any food
Well,
because it's a banana.
that's a separate issue, of
You just
course.
have to dig your way through the skin down to the actual edible banana and eat
but
away.
but that doesn't answer the question.
What effects would it have on Earth?
Yeah,
Because you get free food. You could send up crews to mine the banana and send it back.
banana mining. Yeah,
Banana
I
mining.
suppose so. Um,
So there's
the other thing is we don't know. I'm not even sure the banana's surface tension would be cohesive enough to keep it as a banana and not fall to the earth because it would probably break apart into banana bits. We may not even have to go mine it. We get banana dumps everywhere.
oh yeah,
Banana
the
dumps.
edges of the
Yeah,
bananas.
edges and pieces of banana.
Yeah.
The sky is dumping. There we go.
Is the stem still on it, or would there be no stem?
I don't know.
Does that really matter? Is
No.
this question relevant? 2,213 people say no, and I'm with them.
Wait, no, you're
2,214.
not. You just answered it.
I don't think it's relevant. I did answer it though. Damn. All right.
It's the reason 2000, how many? 2,213 have not answered this question is much like tie logic.
Yeah.
It's not because things are illogical or stupid. It's simply that the logic here is on such a level that we cannot possibly comprehend it.
Oh yeah.
We just don't get it.
I get it.
And with the banana, the reason 2,213 individuals have not answered this question is that they do not understand the importance of this question and have chosen to
You're
ignore it.
probably right.
Of
And
course I am.
and and I don't get it either. So next question. All right. So this question is, how do you handle having 10 real boyfriends? How do you handle having 10 real boyfriends?
As opposed to fake ones?
I guess, as opposed to, I don't know.
Who's going to answer this first?
You can answer. I asked the
I,
question. You
I
can
would say that we shouldn't answer this question. However, if you want a good answer, you should buy a ticket, get on a plane, and either fly to the Dominican Republic or to Thailand and ask a Dominican or a Thai girl. I have seen them handle. Of course, this happens more. Some people are going to jump in and say, "Well, that's the bar scene. If you only go to the bars." No, 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 no. It's certainly the case with bar girls and prostitutes. Certainly, that's all they're after is money. But I've seen it with quote unquote normal girls in both countries as well, to a lesser extent. And that's a little bit more of a gray zone. And of course, I don't mean everybody, but certainly with the bar girls, I've seen them handle 2, 3, 4, multiple, even 10. One boyfriend comes, he lands, they spend a couple of weeks with him, they get their finances from him, he leaves, another one comes in, and they time the arrivals and departures that
Yeah,
way.
that's a
And
big
sometimes they even time 3 or 4 while they're all in the country at the same time, and still getting finances from abroad or from somewhere else.
The money thing is a big one.
The money thing is the main reason they do it, but it's not the only one. Like I said, I've known normal girls who were dating multiple guys. It's happened to me that I was
Yeah.
one of the guys, and it wasn't even for financial reasons. Sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's loneliness, sometimes it's low self-esteem, sometimes it's just attraction, sometimes it's money. It could be any mixture of all of the above, or any of the above.
Yeah.
It's usually money with the prostitutes and the bar girls. I observed it happen to.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because they're trying to support their family back at home. I, in answer to the question, would say Google Calendar. You can color code all the boyfriends, get the schedule. You won't have any conflicts. You can know exactly when your money is going to show up. It's a scheduler. That's all you need is a good scheduler.
Well, you could do that. Another thing you could do is Excel. Excel won't necessarily schedule the times, but you'll be able to color code and search relevant data such as birthdays and phone numbers and email addresses, and you can keep all sorts of characteristics there and notes, make information.
Yeah.
So you're not scheduling people that way, but you can keep relevant data about them.
Well, if you're really handy, you could use Access.
Oh yeah, that would be,
Microsoft Access.
then you can do both.
To an Access database. You can put in a little search function and boop, pops up all the
You
information.
can search all that in Excel as well.
You could keep track. You could do the calendar in Access, and you could also do a search function for conflicts and make sure there's none of that. But that's you'd waste more time doing that than you would trying to find boyfriends. So
I'm not so sure. Well, maybe Access. I'm not so sure about
that's what
Excel
I'm talking
or
about. Access.
Google
No,
Calendar. I don't think those take
Excel
up much
is
time.
easy. Google Calendar is super easy. I use that for regular everyday stuff. So.
However, if you want a professional answer by someone that's done it, get on a plane, go to a bar,
Yeah.
talk to either a Dominican bar girl or a Thai bar girl. There you'll get your answers by people that have real world experience with that. Because I mean, we don't. The last and final question.
Yeah. My 25-year-old son just got a job in engineering and is now discussing moving out in a few months. I took $8,000 out of his bank account to stop him from moving, and now there's a court case. How do I get custody of my son back? Well,
Right off the bat, I'd like to say this is definitely a 3-shot answer, or a 3-shot question,
Wow.
I should say.
I'm
It's
not
too
even-
late for the 4th shot because they've already bred. So
yeah. It's not the son.
no, it's not the son. No.
Yeah, this is the dad.
We don't know if it's a dad. Could be a mom. Doesn't
could
say.
be the mom.
It doesn't
It's
say.
true.
Could be the mom.
Oh, it's true. Now it makes sense.
It's probably the mom. This sounds more like a mom. A dad would be like, yeah, my son's out of the house. Yeah. Here, take some money, son. Get the fuck out of here.
That's it.
No, this is a mom.
I got my office space now.
And this sounds like a not so much of a jest type question. So, first of all, why would you take money out of your son's account? I took $8,000 out of his bank account to stop him from moving. Control freak, anyone? Control freak? And now there's a court case. Yeah, no shit, you stole his money. No shit, there's a court case. How do I get custody of my son back?
It's like a non sequitur.
He's 25 years old. I think that qualifies as an adult pretty much in any fucking universe.
Yeah.
So custody is not an issue. You can't get custody of an adult unless they are mentally challenged. He obviously isn't. He has an engineering degree. I got a job he just got a job in engineering. He's not mentally challenged. He's not somebody that is dependent on an adult.
Oh,
He is an adult.
it sounds like he just graduated from college or maybe a master's program in engineering, and he's got a job and he's moving out. Why would
Good
you
for
take
him.
$8,000 from your son? Why would you try to stop him from moving?
Yeah, $8,000.
There must be
Stop him
story.
from moving. Court case. Get custody to get him back. Maybe he's leaving early, or he's not that early. That's kind of a normal age. Maybe he's leaving because you're a bloody control freak.
Yeah,
It's your fault.
that's weird.
Stealing money out of his account. This doesn't sound like a joke either.
No, but it just sounds it's just weird. You can't get custody of someone who's reached the age of majority.
Years ago. I mean, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, 25 is an extreme. Most places it's 18 or 19 or 20.
18, 19. Here, Thailand, it's 20. 20 is the age of majority.
Whoever you are, somebody should take a gun, go back in time, and shoot you 4 times.
Yeah.
Not 3 times. Yeah, you're a 4 shot.
Maybe by custody they mean they want him to move back into the house, like they want him to live there.
That's definitely what they
and
want,
not move out.
But custody is the wrong word in this context.
That's
and
what I'm
obviously
saying.
This person may not know that, but again, that's why they merit the 4th shot.
But it's too late for the 4th shot. It's
It
too
is.
late for the 3rd shot.
I take back.
Now you're just wasting lead.
I take back the going back in time to shoot you, because your 25-year-old son is obviously not as retarded as you are. Yeah, he's got an engineering job and he's leaving. Obviously, he's got some smarts. So I don't want to prevent his birth, but we should prevent any future ones just in case.
Yeah.
We don't want more people like you.
Yeah, that's just weird. That's just I'm moving out, Mom. No, you can't move out.
I've stolen money from
What do you
your
mean?
account.
I'm 25. I can move out. Fine. I'm taking money from your bank account. How did she get the money from his bank account?
I'm not a borderline. I'm not a borderline. I'm not a psychologist, and I do study a bit as a hobby. So this is not a diagnosis or any kind of professional evaluation, but somebody who has quite a bit of experience with some off the wall people. The mom sounds very borderline personality disorder.
I don't know, but how did she even get the money out of his account?
It's not like it's written out of a joint account. Like I took money out of our account. It's out of his account. So
Yeah.
something fraudulent has gone on
So she
here.
forged. Maybe that's why there's a court case, because she forged a check.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're taking money out of someone else's account and it's not a joint account with you, then something fraudulent happened. Forged check, forged ID.
Hey, here's the check paid
False
to the order of
circumstances.
Mom.
Yeah.
$8,000. Future custody case is the reason down there at the bottom.
Well, let's hope that in your theory of contracting and expanding universes, this particular scenario does not repeat.
It will.
Oh, no,
It will, because it's repeating. If it's expanding and contracting and chaos theory actually follows, then it probably won't happen the same way. But if it's repeating Big Bangs, yeah,
repeating Big
we're
Bangs.
going to be reading this again
Repeating
in a
Big
couple
Bangs.
of billion years.
I like that. I like the ring of that.
We're going to be,
Hey, you want to come over to my place and have a repeating Big Bang?
That's it.
How about this one? One last one.
All right.
All right, this is the final, last. I caught my son smoking, and so forced him to smoke a carton until he got sick. He ended up telling the wrong person, and now a social worker is involved. What should I do? I like that. He ended up telling the wrong person.
This is just
Okay.
This is just the state of the world today. When I was a kid, if this happened, you'd have smoked the cigarettes, you'd have got sick, you'd have told all your friends. They would have laughed at you because you were stupid and got caught. And that would have been the end of it.
And you probably would have
And
quit smoking too.
and other kids, and other kids would have come around, and your dad would have seen him. "You're not smoking, are you? You're not smoking." "No, no, sir. No, sir. No, I'm not smoking." Because they knew that you had to smoke the entire carton. So, and they wouldn't want your dad to make you do that. Now, your dad can't even say that to your friends.
That's true.
Can't make you smoke a whole carton because you'll tell the wrong person, and a social worker gets involved. What the fuck? The social worker doesn't need to. It's none of the social worker's business. You didn't do anything but make the kid sick. It's not like you hurt him. You didn't damage him. Come on. Lighten up, people. Is this one of those? Because I still don't understand it. Is this a woke thing?
No, I wouldn't call this a woke issue.
Okay.
But I
can't wear the shirt yet.
I actually take both sides of this. Like, I mean, I grew up in pretty much the same generation as you. I got spanked. My parents spanked me. I'm not I got that too. I'm not happy with that at all. I think that was completely wrong.
I think it's
found
wrong.
It very
I would never do it to any kids that I have. But like, did I deserve it? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's other ways.
There are other ways. But
sure, there's better ways.
But look, I look at it this way. But hold on, because this is germane to what you just said. I think there's three types of kids. Obviously, there's a whole spectrum, but I think there's three types of kids. Okay. The first type of kid is the one that you yell at him and he just breaks down crying and he never does it again. The second type of kid needs a little reinforcement to make sure that he doesn't do it again, right? And that's the kid that you've got to swat, one time. You just, not even a real one, just like this is what's going to happen it's going to be worse the next time if you don't behave or don't do what you're supposed to do. Then there's the child like me, where they tell you not to do it, and you actually go out and do it.
But there's other ways to generate consequence. I don't believe in it. I found it extremely damaging.
In the early 1960s, there was no way other than smacking the shit out of your kid.
What year did Dr. Spock come out with his book?
Dr. Spock?
I don't mean Mr. Spock. I mean Dr. Spock. That was the 60s.
I know my parents had it for my brother, so it was late 60s.
Late 60s.
Okay. But I'm 62. I'm not 62 years old. I was born in 62. So, they didn't know how to handle it. It wasn't force fed into the public psyche how to deal with your kids, the better ways to deal with your kids. So, it's like going back to 1962 and saying, why didn't they just use the microwave to heat up that food?
Well, let me.
Because there was no microwave.
That's not true. I mean, people understood the concept of grounding. Not every parent back then hit their child either.
A grounding didn't work for me.
Well, there may have been other ways to do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was.
Well, anyway, let me finish what I was going to say, which is that I still consider smoking a carton, making your child smoke a carton, somewhat abusive. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Even though I get the point.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't report it to a social worker if I found somebody did that, but I don't agree with that method. Because there could be some health issue that comes up from that. The other thing is, and this isn't an agreement with current state of affairs. I'm not saying I agree with it, but this is how it is now. Social workers get involved, people talk, and what I'm amused by is that this parent, this individual, says he ended up telling the wrong person, and now This is the 21st century. What, the wrong person? What did you expect? He's not going to tell anybody? I mean, this is ridiculous. He told the wrong person. I only wanted him to tell the right people, the people that wouldn't squeal on me. That's what I found amusing in this. I mean, that's completely stupid. He told the wrong person.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
What did you expect?
But the wrong person, I look at the wrong person as someone not minding their own business. Not having, I mean, come on.
It's irrelevant.
Not your kid.
It's irrelevant. The fact is, you forced your kid to smoke a carton of cigarettes,
Yeah.
which is somewhat abusive. Okay, you may have had good intentions. It may even work and prevent him from smoking again. It may work. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I think it probably would.
Okay.
And my generation, they did that too.
Yeah.
But my parents, as much, they did hit me, but they never tried that one on me. I took up smoking for a bit. They didn't do that. They told me the consequences of it, and I stopped. And
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't quite a habit yet, but I tried it a few times. And they said, "Here, try one." No, inhale it. And then I coughed a few times, and see, it's no good for you. And I just stopped. You don't need to do that. So I'm not trying to comment so much on whether this was the right or wrong method. I've already done that. I'm saying, what did you expect? Of course, your son is going to tell somebody. It's not up to him to decide who's going to mind their own business or not. It's irrelevant. You did this. Of course, he's going to tell somebody. Who is the wrong person? What does it matter? He's going to tell people.
I think
it's not up to him to decide who's the right person, who's the wrong person, who's going to get involved, who's not.
Not the kid. I mean,
that's what I mean. But he's making it sound like the kid is to blame.
No,
he told the wrong person.
I think writing the question, what he's saying is the wrong person is the nosy ass fucker who didn't mind their own business and went and told the social worker, who had no right to go and tell the social worker because it wasn't their problem. That's what I'm talking about.
I disagree with that, because I mean, obviously if the parent is disciplining their child, I wouldn't get involved. But I mean, who's to say where this stops?
Yeah.
You know, there's levels here. In today's society, doing something like that is considered abuse. So by the norms of today's society, whether you agree with them, that's abuse. It's the same thing if you saw some father trying to discipline his child, the kid did something wrong and he punches him in the face. Well, this kid did something wrong. Should we say, "Oh, I'm not getting involved because he deserved it. I'm not going to tell the social worker"? Damn right. If I see somebody punching his kid in the face, I'm going to get very involved.
That's different. You see a dad out there.
I don't see it as different.
His kid is smoking.
It's a question of degree, but it's not different.
His kid is smoking. You look and you go, and he smoked like 2 puffs, throws the cigarette down. He goes, "Light the next one," and he smokes the next one, 2 puffs. Light the next one. You got 198 of those things to go, right? And you see him, who's he hurting? He's not abusing.
Well, if he's getting sick, if the kid's getting sick from it, technically it's abuse. But I'm not saying I agree with it or not.
Yeah.
I'm saying technically it's abuse.
Yeah.
By today's standard and today's
definition.
By today's definition. Standard. So what do you expect? Your son's going to tell somebody with or without good intentions, with or without the intention of this person telling a social worker, you don't know, and then that person gets involved. Now, I don't. So he ended up telling the wrong person is a ridiculous statement.
No, so I mean, essentially, what you're saying is it's okay to be a rat for something that has nothing to do with you. In the 30s or 40s, that would have gotten you killed.
Again, you're talking about a question of degree, not right or wrong. If there's a child who gets punched and kicked because his father's trying to discipline him, or burned with a candle because his mother's trying to discipline him, and maybe the child actually did something wrong, it becomes irrelevant. And then they tell somebody, and that person calls a social worker. It's no different from this. It's a question of degree.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a question of degree, but my point that you're steering away from is that the person who disseminated this story had no right disseminating the story.
My point is, would they? Okay, then let me bounce that question back. If the child was burnt with a candle or hit with a baseball bat, and they told somebody, and that person told the social worker,
I already agreed that it's a matter of degree.
There we go. Then it doesn't matter.
No,
it's irrelevant whether they smoked a box of cigarettes. It's not like they said, "Here, smoke 2 cigarettes and see if that's good for you," and they cough and they make them stop. He or she, could be a she, him to smoke a full carton. I find that abusive. You can get really sick if you do that. Really sick. Why would you deliberately make your child ill? To make a point?
Okay. Is it the right way to go about doing it? No. Okay. But he did it. And he told the person, and now a social worker is under today's what would you call it? Today's norms. Yeah, okay. I say I would say that's normal, and yeah, you're stupid. Why would you do that, right?
Mm.
Um, but he did it, and it's still the problem is the wrong person. The wrong person shouldn't have said shit. There's no reason for that person to get out. I'm telling you that what I'm telling you is that the norm for today is fucked up, and that
I get that, but I still
it
think
is. It still is what it is. But what I'm saying is that wrong person. Now the dad should go to the wrong
but
person
you're
and
missing.
cold cock him because
I still think you're missing my point, which is what is not the norms of society. I'm not saying I would report it. For something like this, I would not get involved. I still think it's not very different. I don't think but I wouldn't get involved because it's a question of degree, and this is not a degree that would get me involved. I don't think, however, that there's any difference except the degree, and I don't think the person getting involved was wrong
this is
by today's norm. And my point is, the guy did this, or the mother did this, whoever did this, the parent made this child smoke this, and the child told someone.
Yeah.
Obviously, kids talk. They're going to tell somebody. Could be a friend, could be somebody else. It might not even been a complaint. Might have been just in passing. What do you expect in today's society that he's going to go and tell somebody's going to get involved and tell a social worker?
And
what
I guess
do you expect?
my point is that society from when I was a kid to when society from when I was a kid to now has changed in a negative way, in a bad way.
Maybe, but you can't expect somebody to do this in today's society and then write a question like, he ended up telling the wrong person and now a social worker's involved. What do you expect? It's 2022.
Right.
Right or wrong,
right.
Don't do that and then be surprised when your son tells somebody and then blame him or the person, say, oh, he told the wrong person.
In the perspective of today, I agree. He should not have done that. But also, the problem is I'm however old. What do you think this kid is? 13 years old, 12 years old?
Well, we have no way of knowing.
We don't know, but let's assume, okay? Let's assume he's a 12 or 13-year-old. And I come and tell you, an adult, this story about how my dad made me smoke a carton of cigarettes.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't get involved in that.
And you're the person. Would you not even think, before you told a social worker, would you not even think to go to the kid's dad and said, hey, your kid is, I don't know who else he's telling, but he's telling me that you made him smoke a carton of cigarettes. Yeah, I did. Well, why'd you do that? Well, to get him to not smoke, there's sort of better ways to do that now, yada, yada, yada. You tell him the whole thing. Hold on. You don't just run and tell Johnny Law that, this kid reported to me that his dad made him smoke a whole carton of cigarettes. That's just, you just don't do that.
I've got three reasons to counter argument that. First of all, let's go back to the time that you're talking about, back previous generations. Back then, if somebody had gone to the parents and said, hey, what's going on? They would have told them to fuck off. It's none of your business.
Exactly.
Yeah, so no, I would not go to that parent. And today, they may not tell you to fuck off. They probably put a gun in your face and pull the trigger. So I don't want to get involved in that either.
So then what right do you think you have running to the law?
Preventing child abuse.
Oh,
obviously, that's what this person had in their mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, wrong person.
I'm saying, no, it's not. I'm saying I wouldn't have done it in the first place. I wouldn't have gotten involved, but I cannot blame this person for doing that. I don't blame them. That you can't confront the parent these days. First of all, you're going to get told to fuck off.
I blame them.
Second,
for getting involved.
You might get murdered. And third, I can't blame them. They went to the social. Let social services sort it out. Maybe there's nothing happening. Social services will work it out.
But they don't sort it out. They look for a problem because they don't have a job unless there's problems. So anyway, this
question
won't be solved by either of us.
No, I guess not.
Although I see how it could be people can have diametrically opposed opinions about it, and I'm just I'm old school. I'm old school. You make your son smoke the cigarettes, he gets sick. He tells someone that if that person goes, now I'm the dad, I'm going to go confront that person. And I'm going to say, what the hell are you doing? This is none of your business. What are you doing telling social workers about me disciplining my son? He's not your
I would
son.
say the same thing if somebody came to me.
He's not your son. You mind your own business. And that's it. And then I would have to deal with the social worker, but I'd deal with the wrong person also, because that guy shouldn't have been opening, or a woman shouldn't have been opening his or her mouth.
I don't think this person should even be calling anybody the wrong person. The fact is that this is 2022. That's what you did to discipline your child, or to make a point to him.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that your child's going to tell somebody. It doesn't matter if it's this generation or a past generation. Kids talk to their friends, and this is a consequence of your action, and you're just going to have to accept that somebody told the social. There's no such thing as a wrong person.
And that's your
It's not
answer
surprising.
to what should I do? My answer is confront the wrong person, figure out why he went and talked out of school where he shouldn't have been talking out, and then you'll have to deal with the social worker. Ultimately, you'll still have to deal with the social worker, but you wouldn't have had to do it if the wrong person had stuck to their own business to begin with. So that's it. He didn't abuse the kid in a way that was going to permanently hurt him. He didn't scar him. He didn't burn
You don't
him.
know. There could be some serious health issue that comes
No,
up. You
it
smoke
says
that much.
smoke a carton of cigarettes.
That's not going to be good
until
for
he
you.
got sick. It's not going to be good for him, but it's not going to kill him. So it's not going to stunt his growth.
Well, punching him in the face isn't going to kill him or stunt his growth either, but it's not good for him.
No, but that's abuse.
Yes,
That's
I consider this
textbook.
I consider this light abuse.
Okay, light abuse, and light abuse is
No different from
punishment.
serious abuse, except the
So-
question of degree.
Okay, so we can't spank our kids anymore either.
I don't think you should.
Oh, see, and I think, like I said, that there are kids who should be spanked. Myself, having been one of them. I'm not saying every child. Like I said, there's 3 types of kids. My friends' kids, I had a friend in Fresno, 2 kids, they would just look at them and go, I'm very disappointed in you. And the kid would just burst out crying. And I'm like, in fact, when they would do that, it was so hard for them because he and I were of the same ilk. We're just expecting, something from the kid other than crying. So you start laughing like that's the response you get. What happened to kids nowadays, And the kid would start crying, and I'm laughing, going, "Oh my God, if that was me!" And you said that,
No, I didn't do that.
I'd have gone, "Oh well."
That's pretty much what I did as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, child from hell or not, I just don't think it's productive to hit them. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
There's ways of generating consequence. So
I
like
don't
said,
disagree with you for the right kids, but I think kids have to be handled individually. You have to know your
I still
kid.
don't think physical abuse
So-
is going to answer it though. With any kid, there's got to be another way.
Yeah.
But some of them more severe consequences for sure. My parents were different though. My father was about embarrassment. He absolutely refused that I embarrass him. I had to be a well-behaved child all the time. So when other people would have bratty kids who would scream and shout and they wouldn't discipline them, he mocked it and saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter. There's nothing worse than being embarrassed." So the whole idea for him was that I would not embarrass him with bad behavior. And so that's when I got spanked. If I misbehaved, it was the embarrassment that came with that, especially in public.
I can see that. I can see that.
It is
I'm not
embarrassing.
saying it's right, but
My kids misbehaved. One of them would
Yeah.
scream and yell in the store, and I had to sling him over my shoulder and walk him out, and people stared. It was embarrassing. But I'm glad I didn't hit him.
yeah. And see, when someone does that, I look and again, I just laugh, going, "That's what kids do."
Yeah, it is. It's what kids
That-
do.
Maybe that little kid will get a SWAT outside. I don't know, but or maybe we'll just take him out. He can scream outside.
I mean, I wasn't perfect. I yelled and screamed sometimes, but I found there are other ways. Like basically, I'd said, you're going to pick up your toys. They wouldn't pick them up, and one day, I said, okay, they're all going in the garbage, and I picked them up. I threw them in a garbage bag. No, I didn't actually toss them out.
Yeah.
But they were upset, and they made
Yeah.
sure to clean after that.
Yeah, of course.
Didn't have to hit them.
Of
Just
course.
all your toys. I told you 3 times. And now I'm fed up. I lost it a bit. I was yelling.
Yeah.
Picked them all up, threw them in a garbage bag, literally, and I threw the garbage bag somewhere. Like I said, I didn't put them in the actual trash.
Yeah.
And oh man, They cleaned up after that. When I said you clean
Yeah.
up or it's going in the garbage, oh, they cleaned up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm sort of, like I said, I my mindset is of the time you discipline your kids because you know your kids.
mm.
Um, hitting your kids, that's abuse. Burning your kids, punching them in the
Oh yeah,
face, that's abuse.
I've had
With
all of those.
without a doubt. But something like this, I would just call teaching him a lesson, not not abuse.
I
And
I say technically abuse. I wouldn't get involved in it. I know what the idea here is not even to punish, it's to make a point
yeah,
that it's not healthy and it can make you sick. But I say it's technically abuse because it's the wrong way to go about it.
yeah. Well, apparently, whoever wrote this said this is incredibly disgusting and also child abuse.
So
So,
I don't see that.
just above the question, where it
Oh,
said,
right.
yeah. So they side with you. They must
I
be.
wouldn't
It
go.
must be a younger person.
I said technically child abuse. I don't know if I'd call it incredibly disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's technically child abuse by today's standards. I don't like it, but I wouldn't be running to a social worker for this. Like I said, as a question of degree, this does not reach the threshold for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it, but I don't. At the same time, I do not blame the person that did. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, we probably should wrap this up.
Yep.
Your
If you
question.
have any good
Yeah.
questions, something along the lines of these Quora questions, put it in the comments,
Yeah.
and we'll answer one question every episode.
Yeah. If your question is stupid, we will berate you for sure. So at least I will.
But we won't
I don't
shoot you.
know.
We won't shoot you.
We won't shoot you. We don't have guns here or bullets. So.
Don't tell them that.
Oh, why?
Well, they might
It's
want
a
to hurt us.
gun-free society.
No, it isn't.
I don't think. What are they going to write? They could write a question in Thai. All right. So, all right. We have an armory here. So, I guess that ends this episode, and we'll be back with the next one.
See ya.
See y'all later.